So the new combat is Bashbreaker. So we'll have a look at him in the showroom first, actually. There we go. There is Bashbreaker. Very sort of Pokemon looking with these RID bots, robots in disguise. Not a big fan, but yeah, there is Bashbreaker, and then we can put the new bot Gabu on Galvatron. You can see him there. Pretty cool. We'll have a look in the showroom now. There he is. Pretty meh, pretty bland. Good when he obviously uses him, but yeah, pretty good. So there they are in the showroom. So let's have a look at the stats. So Bashbreaker. So every 10 seconds, launch 3 acid projectiles in a cone, dealing 50% of the bot's DPS to enemies and negating healing for 5 seconds. It also increased the bot damage by 32%. So let's give it a go. So let's drop. No, we'll drop 2 healers behind him. Let's just try and keep him alive a bit by putting these things down. And we'll see the cones come out shortly. There's the cones there. You can see the cones there. So you can see acid is hitting the defenses. And obviously that causes no healing to those structures. The MDS is currently still healing. That's a bug. But they are going to fix it. So see come out again shortly. I'm not sure where Nar's going, but there you go, and there is the effects again. Pretty cool. And there you go. There's the purple acid coming out. I think you see the health increase there actually. No, you can't. But there you go, there's the visuals again. So someone sort of asked in playtest, so because it shoots acid out, can you combo it with fire and you know other things? Yeah, you can. So it's good around the combos. So the good things about this bot. So let's look at the bot again. So what are the good things? So the good things about this combat is that, you know, launches the 3 acid projectile which you can combo. So very good, dealing 50% of the bot's DPS. So in terms of you're talking about 500 damage without going looking, something like that. Oops. And obviously it negates healing as well. So again, another good factor for 5 seconds. And obviously it increased the bot damage by 32%. So good parts. I like the fact it's acid, so you can combo it. I like that it's got high damage. And I like the fact that it negates healing. And I like the fact that it does increased 32%. So you would think Wozza thinks this bot is great. I actually don't. Sadly, I'm not really impressed with this bot at all. And the reason is that we see this every time. Increased bot damage by 32%. Increased bot damage by 32%. Or whatever it is. Increased bot damage by 32%. You know, all these sort of like, you know, combats. You know, the increased bot damage by 32%. Oh, increased bot damage by 50%. It's just too samey. It's just too similar. We're getting every single combat that comes out is a companion combat that increases bot damage by 32%. Whoopie-doo. You know, it's not impressive for me now. I don't mind that, it's good. But for me, Sawtooth and Windstrike, Bashbreaker, they're all just too similar. So, you know, they send out projectiles and increase bot damage. He sends out projectiles and increases bot damage. He sends out projectiles and increases bot damage. We need some variety. It's like they've run out of ideas and just repeating the same idea. I mean, yes, that's acid, and yes, that's wind, and yes, that's water, and yes, we've been talked about like elemental damage. Okay, fine. But when you're negating healing and dropping acid for 5 seconds, good luck trying to combo that for 5 seconds. So it goes out and you go, right, I'm going to use bot. And then by the time you press it, by the time it does it, it's going to be hard to combo for 5 seconds. Very hard. So negating healing is fine, but it's more of a something that happens, where something you can rely on something you can use. You know, are you telling me that you're going to plan an attack to the nth where you go, right, I'm going to drop this bot with Bashbreaker, then in 10 seconds is going to send out his acid, and as that happens, I'm going to use a bot to take out the MDS because it's going to get hit by acid? No, you're not going to do that. If there was a timer telling you exactly what's going to happen, you could plan that, but you're not going to count 10 seconds in a battle. So, sort of when it happens, it's like, oh, right, great. But you're not going to combo it. It's going to be very difficult to combo anyway. It might combo and help you in a battle, but it's not something you can really plan. And again, even if you can sort of plan that in, it's far too random. All these sort of abilities fire off in a certain direction. It's why I'm not a big fan of top heavy, and why I prefer Sport on most of my bots, and why I haven't got 5-star top heavy and haven't gone for him. Because when it does work, it's amazing. When top heavy does work, that's why I say use it on warpaths. When you're using warpath in a line to take out certain structures, top heavy will help that because it's going to go the same line, so you know where it's going. But after that, it sort of goes here, there, everywhere, all over. And it's the same for these bots. You can't control exactly where it's going. And that's why I'm not really impressed. So I'm not impressed with these projectiles that come out of combats. Stop it. Get rid of it. Stop repeating yourself. It's boring now. And don't get me wrong, if we had Windstrike 2 batches ago and Sawtooth 3 batches ago, and now we've got Bashbreaker, fair enough. But we've got Sawtooth and Windstrike in the same batch now. And I'm avoiding them like the plague. I really don't want them. And those will stay at level 1 probably. They really will. And then Bashbreaker, I don't want another one of these in this batch. I don't want it where every single batch I've got projectiles. They're not really beneficial. They're alright. They're alright. They're not bad. But they're not amazing. They're not great. You can't combo them with 5 seconds. You know, so, you know, 15 seconds. You can rely on that? You know, and with this one, like, you know, cause the water. How often? It doesn't even say how often it is on Sawtooth. So, not a big fan of these bots. Not a big fan at all. I understand. I like the way they're going with it, with combos and things like that. I like the way the game is going in that sense, but not for this combat. And then, if you want one more reason not to get the 5-star, but to get the 4-star, when we look at the 4-star stats, every 10 seconds, launch 3 projectiles. Every 10 seconds, launch 3 projectiles in a cone, dealing 50% of the bot's damage value. In a cone, dealing 50% of the bot's DPS to enemies, and negating healing. And negating healing for 5 seconds. For 5 seconds, the only difference between the 4-star and the 5-star is that the 5-star increases the bot's damage by 32%, and the 4-star increased it by 22%. So you get an extra 10% DPS. So you're talking between like 50 or 100 DPS depending on the bot you put it on. So the difference between the 4-star, which you can get for free in this weekend's event, and the 5-star, which you've got to save up shards for, is 10% DPS. That is the only difference. So for me, I don't want this guy as a 5-star pull. I want to avoid him like the plague. The 4-star, yeah, if I get him for free, it's alright. It's not a combat, it'll go somewhere. But I'm not driven. I won't be disappointed if when I did get trip up in the chance event. I was proper gutted. I was proper like, oh, I really wanted that combat because it was really good. If I don't get Bashbreaker's event, I'm not too fussed really. I'm not too bothered. But if I get the 5-star, I'll be pretty livid. I do not want this 5-star because it won't go anywhere in my war team. It won't replace anything. It won't do anything. I won't combo it. I don't like these projectile bots. I don't like the fact it just increases DPS. Hey, most combats increase DPS, don't they, in some way? So why is this guy any different? So pretty damning on for the 5-star. 4-star, if you get him this weekend, he'll do a job on some sort of combat if you're short. I wouldn't say he's the worst combat in the world, but if you've got a 4-star Sawtooth and you've got a 4-star Windstrike, you place it if you want. It's not going to do much difference, really. Again, it's just very samey. So, yeah.